right, it is Hello Again Wednesday. This is episode number 85. We are just ticking away. I am so glad that you joined me live this morning, or this actually it is this afternoon, and I am so glad that you are here along with me as we are doing this episode. You are my special guest, and as my special guest, I encourage you to join right along with the comment section and leaving your comments as we plug along with this one. You saw the very beginning of that clip. It is 4th of July. Summer fun is what we're going to talk about. But before I get into all the stuff that we do, I want to thank you for not only watching here on Facebook, but doing the follow. Please click like. Please click share and share this with your family and your friends. The more people we can get involved in this, the better it will be each time. More and more people are at least clicking. Thank you very much for that. And if you're watching on my YouTube channel, which is Brent Miller, What's on His Mind, you'll see all these episodes as well as a few other things that I click on over there on that. You can also catch this on our church website, culvercitychurchofgod.org, or you can even see it. It bounces over to Rumble. You can see it. We're on many platforms. But besides watching it, please share your stories right along with the conversation of the day as my special guest. I am so glad that you guys are with me on this. Besides it being Hello Again Wednesday number 85, we are 15 episodes. It is really getting close. 15 episodes away from the 100th episode. It is going to be a big bang, speaking of the 4th of July, and we are going to more than likely do a hour-long segment. It'll probably be later on in Wednesday so that more and more people can join along. It is also not only going to be just on Facebook, it is going to be connected to a Zoom link that I will give to whoever wants to be a part of it, to where you can be on the video live with me for that 1 hour segment. We're going to have questions and conversations and whatever else might be a surprise on that 100th episode. And you can be in it and on it. And so we're going to tick away to that 100th episode. So here we are with episode 85. And with episode 85, the question of the day is, what did you do for your 4th of July? What did you do for your 4th of July? And so we have some things that as I was kind of getting ready for it, I also have probably a sub question or a secondary question, and that is, do you consider yourself to be a proud American? And so with that question, I bring that one out because I think, well, first of all, it's more than all of this, all right? And I'm going to get into some things that touch me on this 4th of July weekend. But last week, as it was coming up to the 4th of July, well, I did last week's episode, which was Dance, Dance, Dance. And I had some dance songs and stuff like that. And so I'm getting ready for the 4th of July episode and getting ready for the 4th of July weekend and the enjoyment of it. And as for me, a staple, or it used to be a staple for every 4th of July, and that was the Beach Boys. The Beach Boys would always have a concert in the park or something like that, or over on the Washington, D.C. Plaza and stuff like that. There was things that took place year after year with the Beach Boys. They were a great a great 4th of July staple with some just, I enjoyed the music. And so, you know, time ticks on and people get older and unable to do concerts and stuff like that. I understand that, but you can still watch videos. And I was kind of clicking around and they had some songs. I forgot. They actually had a song called Dance, Dance, Dance. They also had another dance song that I was listening to as I was getting ready for the 4th of July episode and the 4th of July weekend. For me, that's a staple of the 4th of July. But for me personally, I had a great time on the 4th of July weekend. I enjoyed my Sunday. I enjoyed my Monday. And we did some things that we usually do on the 4th of July. But this year was a little bit different in the sense, not for us as a family, but if you are watching television or catching your news organizations and stuff, there's a lot of things that was happening that was just kind of unpleasant. I'm just going to go that way. Unpleasant. There was a lot of hatred, it seemed like. In fact, the polls are out that many people are not even proud to be American or proud to be a part of the country or whatever. And it's almost like the media outlets were trying to push that agenda. Boy, guess what, man? Many people, half of the nation or less than, or majority of the nation is not proud to be here today, and you should not be proud either. In fact, you should hate America too. And just this pushing that was taking place rather than a time of celebration. In fact, there wasn't much talk of hot dogs on the grill or picnics in the park, or even in our case, picnics on the beach, because the beach is just down the road. There wasn't a whole lot of talk about acquiring fireworks for an enjoyment of the evening or anything like that. Just a lot of reasons why you shouldn't be proud, reasons why you should be discouraged. In fact, then there was things that took place besides that. There was tragedy that took place on the 4th of July because of people that are just bad people. And so there's a sadness that came across along with people with this hatred. It was like, oh my goodness, it was like an overwhelming bad sense. For me, the 4th of July is nothing like that. And at least take for a moment to actually consider some great things. And for one of mine is, and I know I talked about this in the past, maybe even last year, 4th of July, but excuse me, I talk about the Beach Boys, but it's also hard to miss. There's a ton of other songs that are some great patriotic or great proud to be American songs and stuff like that really go along with the 4th of July. One of my favorite things, I probably talked about this in the past, was I miss the radio stations where you could turn a radio station on and they would sync up to the fireworks that you're watching, and it's really cool. I did hear, though, a radio playing. We were on the beach, and there's this radio playing. They were playing some patriotic songs as the fireworks were shooting off, which always reminds me of the Lee Greenwood, God Bless the USA. And we didn't even hear those words this weekend, it seems like. But the chorus, I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And man, someone's going to be calling, and it's Connie. Okay. I'm going to call her back. Connie, I'm live. And so anyways, I'll pick up. And so I'm going to have to do this quickly now. Here, I'm going to answer. Connie Sue, I'm doing my segment live right at the moment. Can I call you back? Okay, I'll call you right back. Bye. Okay, so now everyone saw that. All right, so anyways, Lee Greenwood, God bless the USA. God bless the USA. I'm proud to be an American. I got to get back on track on my thought process now. You ever have that where it just kind of, excuse me, goes away? Anyways, I miss stuff like that takes place on the 4th of July. On Sunday, I talked about this freedom. See, because I believe in freedom, all kinds of freedom, all freedom. And even though I might disagree with what you want as freedom, I still believe in freedom. But on Sunday, I did talk about, as a pastor, I talked about, of all the things, there's freedom in Christ. And so it even made it deeper for me than just being a proud American or being proud of the soil of America. I talked about on Sunday the many shores that I have walked upon, from both sides of Italy, up the coast of Italy, on both coasts of France, especially the French Riviera, or the coast of Spain, and the love of Barcelona. And then there's the soils of touching with Amsterdam and Luxembourg and Germany and Belgium, and then crossing the channel and touching the shores and the soil of England. And it just brings back a thought process to me that, wherever I went, if you're a follower of Christ and you call Jesus your Lord and Savior, you have freedom no matter what soil you are on. And that is a joy of a citizenship that is found in heaven, as being a child of the King. And that there is always going to be true freedom, no matter what happens. Now, I loved all those places that I've been to and the things that I did, but I have to say that I love America the best. And even with all of its flaws, even with its beauties, and it's the best of the best, it is by far my favorite. Now, one thing I have discovered, that even with its flaws, even with its beauties, even amongst its worst of the worst or best of the best, we as a people here on this soil, we can learn to live together with freedom. Live together with freedom. And so that's why I'm proud to be an American. Or you can even be proud of living here, or even proud of visiting this place that we call America. So this weekend, me and my family, this is what we had done. We'd gone down by LAX airport and Loyola Marymount University, and we sat and we enjoyed the 4th of July parade that morning. And as it was starting, though, the color guards, and those are the ones, they have the rifles and the flags, and they start marching forward. And there's a lot of chatter, a lot of commotion that's going on as they're passing by, some hand clapping. Then there is where it takes about 40 people. It's a huge American flag that they're going to tote up the road that leads to the university. And so as they're carrying this flag stretched out, there is some commotion still, some chatter, some clapping that's taking place. And then as that's passing by, I leaned over and I go, man, the parade has started, and you didn't even hear the national anthem being sung or played. And just then, the announcer comes over the PA system and announces a young lady is going to sing the national anthem, and where she's from and what she, who she is. And there's still commotion, there's still chatter going on, and this young lady starts to sing, and people begin to stand up, and there's a family sitting next to us, and I can hear what I believe is the grandmother teaching her grandkids. So they're singing the national anthem. Let's stand up. They're singing the national anthem, and there's still some chatter going. But I'm telling you, as this young lady began to sing the national anthem, you began to hear a actual hush come across the parade field. No one was saying anything. It was so quiet as this young lady sang out the national anthem, and then it just burst into applause, kind of like the olden days, just burst into applause for what this young lady had done, singing the national anthem with a ton of clapping. And so that's what took place. as the parade began to come. And you know what? There's all kinds of cool things: floats, motorcycles, the Harley Davidsons and stuff. All that stuff's taking place. There's even politicians and stuff passing through. And you know what? There's a few that come that are, you know what, I totally disagree with. Yet there's families sitting next to us that totally agree with them. And you learn to realize that here in America, you can have that diversity and sit together and watch a parade in happiness. And that's what took place as we watched the parade. That's America. The parade is now over, and we're making our way back to the van to load up and head back to the house. Parked behind me is an older gentleman wearing his Vietnam veteran hat. And so as we make eye contact, and he had said something, and I laughed, and in our little conversation, and then I thanked him for being a veteran, for serving. And he was very polite. Thank you very much. And then I said, my dad was a lifer in the Army, and my father-in-law was a lifer in the Air Force. And as we began to stop and talk to one another, it was really cool. And it didn't matter which armed forces you were in or anything like that. And he asked, well, what did my dad do? And I Signal Corps. And then we talked about, I like one of my friends down in Augusta, Georgia, to chime in. Talked about Fort Gordon, Georgia, and all those things that we did down there. And to me, that made for a nice closing to the parade. Then we head back home, and very quickly, we began to get immediately ready to load up a wagon with blankets and snacks and glow sticks and chair and cooler and drinks. And we're going to make our way about, it's just a few minutes down the road to driving to the beach. And we're going to spend our afternoon at the beach. And that's what we did. Swimsuits and warm clothing for the cool of the evening. And we're on the beach. We're enjoying our snacks, enjoying the waves, and enjoying our spot that we have all picked out. And right there on the sand. And we just, began to enjoy what was taking place for the 4th of July. And late as the time ticks on, fireworks start going. I know they're, quote, illegal more than likely, but fireworks are going off. People are laughing and enjoying companies and enjoying gatherings. And then you begin to look around and go, you know what? With all that garbage, there's still this. And it was a joy on the beach for the 4th of July evening. In fact, we even recorded, the kids loved recording the fireworks and stuff like that. And then after that, we began our 45, because we walked back. Man, if you drive, you will be stuck in traffic. And so we began our 45-minute walk back to the house, and just enjoyed some things as we're ending out a very tired 4th of July weekend. Let me close with this. There was a guy by the name of Alexis, or it might even be a girl, Alexis de Tocqueville, Tocqueville. And this individual, upon touring America to discover what made it unique, said this about America: America is great because America is good. And if America ever ceases to be good, America will cease to be great. And I thought, what a great outsider's perspective of who we can be. So the question of the day: what did you do for the 4th of July this weekend? Let me know in the comments. Let me know your stories. Click like, click share. Let other people get in on this conversation. And if you're doing the same thing on YouTube, on Brent Miller, what's on his mind, go ahead and do the same thing. Subscribe, click that bell. That way you know every time videos are on, and be a part of the conversation. As well as, remember, in 15 episodes, we're doing that 100th episode. It's going to be a huge, big bash. You can be a part of it. Let me know, especially if you want to be on that Zoom, and I will get you the link for that Zoom. So here we are, about, almost real close to 2 o'clock out here on the West Coast. We have our Bible study. I went in my office today, so it's been a while since I've been in my office. And so our Bible study is in the book of Esther. Pastor Mark is going to be leading us starting at chapter 2. And so you can join along with that. That's live in person here, or there is a Zoom link to that also. If you like it, I can always get that for you. Enjoy. We have people joining on that Zoom link as we have our Bible study. It is so great having it. Now, if you can't do our Bible study, check out a Bible believing church near you. Who knows, you might even have leftover picnic snacks from the 4th of July. You might even have them grilling hot dogs and doing, hey, we got stuff to get rid of. So we're going to have a big grilling day at their Bible study. Who knows? There might even be some sparklers and fireworks. I do not know. But whatever you do, you can do it and enjoy it. As always, I am so glad you joined me this week for Hello Again Wednesday. I do look forward to seeing you next week on Hello Again Wednesday, which will be number 86.